What's going on, everyone? How is everyone doing? Testing, one, two, three, testing. Can everyone hear and see me first and foremost? Let me just get some lighting up in here. Guys, if you can hear and see me, drop a 32. Drop a 32 in the chat down below if you guys can hear and see me all right. We'll give it a few minutes to warm up and ensure everyone is on. And yeah, we'll get the ball rolling. Again, this is going to be a regular Q&A. Nothing crazy. I thought it'd be a great way to have this as Q4 is coming to an end, and as we're going into 2021. So I thought I'd connect with you guys, help you guys out, answer any questions, thoughts, concerns. 23. Andrew, what's up, my man? Andrew is actually a part of the one-on-one coaching program. How's it going, my man? I just peeped you in Camille's live. Yeah, I did tune in his Instagram live for a few minutes. Yeah, man, Camille is the boy. Awesome. Cool. You guys can hear and see me. That's awesome. Guys, if you can do me a favor and drop a like on this video right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. So drop a like. It helps the YouTube algorithm. So I would appreciate that. Quality looks great. Awesome. Cool. I'm glad you guys can hear and see me all right. Glenn, how's it going, my man? Cool, guys. So we'll give it about 30 seconds to a minute for everyone to hop on and warm up. And you guys are, more than okay to ask me anything you guys want in the chat. So feel free to utilize that to your full potential during this live Q&A. We will be on here for about an hour and 15 minutes based on the turnout. We usually get a full house, meaning, there's tons of questions, which I love. So don't hesitate to ask me anything you guys want. Again, it can be about myself. It can be anything about e-commerce, digital marketing, anything, right? Your channel is changing lives. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's the goal. I really want to provide as much value and insight as possible on here and, really be as authentic as possible. So I appreciate that. Tim, I thought you wouldn't know who I was. Of course, I know who you are, Glenn. Of course, my man. Anywho, yeah, let's get the questions rolling, guys. I'm pretty sure there'll be more people that'll tune in as we go on. But yeah, let's get these questions rolling. And yeah, I'm excited to dive deeper into this. So first question is, how would you market a service-based company? It really depends. I would definitely do, first and foremost, a lot of SEO, search engine optimization, both on and off, or on and off page. I would also do Google ads, because service-based, a lot of the time it is based on intent. There are actually people searching for that specific service. So I think Google ads would definitely be good. And Facebook, I think you can almost market any business or any sort of business on Facebook. So I think Google and Facebook are your best bet. And then obviously just doing SEO, like I said, both on and off page, and just doing kind of your typical social media, right, to get that organic reach out. So that's what I would do for service-based. With dropshipping becoming so saturated, beginners just selling exact same product, how can you actually find products and be profitable? So I think everything is saturated. It depends how you look at it, right? Dropshipping is saturated, or e-commerce is saturated, but so is real estate. So is the stock market, right? So is Forex and crypto. So is having a digital marketing agency, right? I myself also run and operate a digital marketing agency. So I think everything is saturated. It's just kind of making your stand out from your competitors and doing what they already aren't doing. It's all about the effort that you're actually going to be putting into this business. So when it comes to products, I have a whole product research and validation video, but I like to look for products that have a little bit of traction, but not that much traction, right? I see a winning product or a potential winning product start out by, like by this, and it goes up and it plateaus. You want to get here around somewhere over here, basically, right? You want to see it working for one or two people. You don't have to completely reinvent the wheel, especially when you're a beginner, But if you see one or two people or one or two stores doing somewhat well with it, and it meets all of your criteria in terms of maybe being a problem-solving product, a wow factor product, maybe even a passion product, something that has an impulse buy, something that has a broad market, that has pretty good margins, then you can go ahead and test that product. So I highly also suggest watching my product research and validation videos on the channel. I have a few of them on how I utilize, the AliExpress dropshipping center, how I utilize just my organic method. So that's what I would recommend, and really spend your time on product research and validation. That's probably one of the most important skills you can develop over time and hone down on. It will only help you. Do you teach Google advertising on your one-on-one coaching? No, I do not. So I'm somewhat familiar with Google Ads. My agency does offer Google Ads as a service. Obviously, we have media buyers for that. But no, I do not teach anything that I'm not 100% proficient or confident in. So thus, I do not teach Google Ads in the one-on-one coaching, but we do cover Facebook and Instagram influencer marketing, which I've been able to utilize quite a lot lately. So by the way, check out my last video. Case study on how to utilize Instagram influencer marketing. I took $150 and turned it into $600. That may be not a lot, but especially if you're a beginner, if you don't know paid advertising platforms, if you have a lower budget, that's definitely something you can implement at scale, rinse and repeat. So I would definitely recommend watching my last video for all of you guys that do want to tap into influencer marketing. Have you ever used page builders such as Gem Pages or Pagefly, or use funnel builders such as Clickfunnels? So yes, I do use Clickfunnels, but I use them for like my info products for my personal brand, like my ebook, my consulting calls. If you've ever purchased that service or that asset, those are all on Clickfunnels, but I've never used it for dropshipping. I know Peter Prue, he's another dude in the e-commerce space. If you've ever heard of him, he uses a lot of Clickfunnels. But other page builders, other customizable page builders like Gem Pages or Shogun or Pagefly, like you said, those are good. I usually have a pretty high conversion rate on just Shopify, like between 4 and 7%. I have used like those page builders here and there, but what I like to do is I like to establish some sort of proof of concept. Once I have that, maybe you can build out like a nice funnel based off of that product, right? So that's something kind of to transition into later on, because there's no point putting all your time, energy, and effort up front when when you really don't know if a product's going to work or not. So definitely something you should consider after you find something consistent and also that's scalable long term. Hey, Yash, I'm starting with $650. Should I go with Google ads or Facebook ads? So that's a little bit less when it comes to paid marketing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to front or anything over here. Maybe Google ads, but it also depends on the type of product you're working with. I would focus on a lot of influencer marketing. Check out my last video. I would also check out some other videos on the channel, which I have for just organic methods of driving traffic to your website. So I would say both are kind of in the gray area. What I mean by that is with that exact budget, I recommend at least having $1,000 to $1,500. And even that's like, on the lower scale or on the lower side of the spectrum. What to do after IG theme page ads and Facebook testing fails. So if both fail, then it's probably the product, or see how you can redefine your strategy, right? Like you have to make sure you have everything set up properly. The pricing, the offer, the landing page, which includes the description, the color schemes, the pictures, your funnel. On Instagram, you have to make sure the promotion is structured properly. You're working with the right influencer that has the right audience for your product and vice versa. So I would, reconfine some of those things, or if they are already up to par, then I would just basically go ahead and take a step back and just, test some of their product. Don't be emotionally attached to the product. You've probably heard a lot of people say that. I say that, and it's very true. By the way, guys, make sure you guys drop a like on this video if you guys are enjoying this and getting at least a little bit of value. So make sure you guys drop a like. It does help the YouTube algorithm, and I do appreciate that. So influencer marketing is still relevant and works today. Yes, absolutely, bro. I mean, I work with not only theme pages and meme pages, but I also work with a lot of personal influencers as well. That's how brands like Fashion Nova built their customer base. They worked with almost every influencer across the board. So Instagram influencer marketing is very powerful. TikTok influencer marketing is also very powerful. So yes, it is very, very, very powerful if you have everything else structured the right way, because everything has to fit in together, right? There's a lot of moving parts, and everything truly has to fit in together like a puzzle. That's what I always say. I might go with Debutify, the paid version though, for better conversion. Yeah, I do recommend using paid themes because they're more customizable. They come preloaded with a lot of apps, add-ons, and widgets that can save you a lot of time and money in the long term. And they're more customizable and they just look more professional, which means you can, make sure that your store is as branded as possible and doesn't look like any other dropshipping store. That's why I don't really use Debutify. I know the owner of Debutify, Ricky Hayes. He's one of my good buddies. I've even been on the podcast before, which check the link out in the description if you want to hear that podcast. But I think so many people just use Debutify nowadays. So I am stepping away from free themes, or I've actually been stepping away from free themes for a while now. What are your opinions on hiring a developer to customize your Shopify theme to have funnel type features rather than using Clickfunnels and Shopify? Why not combine theme? Yeah, I mean you can. I know, Glenn, you have Conversio out. I think like with with like page builders like Shogun and Pagefly and Gem Pages, I think people can do that themselves if they're gonna put just a little bit of time and energy and effort, just messing around with it and just testing different things. They're not really too hard to do, but it all really depends on what you're working with, what your budget is, and what your end goal is, right? Um, I recommend doing something like that maybe with a longer term project. Chris, how are you, Chris? Thanks for always popping up, bro. I appreciate the support. Um, Chris said, doesn't matter if we add a thumbnail to videos. Yes, I recommend adding a thumbnail. I mean, it will not hurt you, okay? It will not hurt you having a thumbnail. How Facebook works is for most people, when they're scrolling down their feed, on their news feed, sometimes videos autoplay and sometimes videos don't autoplay. Like they actually have to click on that thumbnail. And even if they autoplay, like they'll see that thumbnail for a split second. If they do autoplay, they'll still see that thumbnail for a very split second. So you want to make sure you have a thumbnail. I mean, it will determine like a lot of things: your click-through rate, your frequency, maybe even your CPMs, and even your watch time for the rest of the video. So yes, I recommend having a thumbnail that's 1:1 ratio. Keep it nice, clean, simple, neat, and the whole purpose of the thumbnail is basically like a preview of the video. So it should get people curious and push them to click or watch the rest of the video. How many white label brands or dropshipping stores are you running and scaling currently? I'm not running any white label stores right now. I was running one from June to September, but I did sell it. I have two dropshipping stores. One I'm doing kind of at scale. The other one's doing organic. Doing like $1 to $2,000 a day on it organically. So, yeah. Is that Glenn from Nerdly? Yes, it is Glenn, Andrew. I don't have Conversio, not my theme. I just develop custom features into themes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. My goal is to create a custom theme that has a builder in the theme editor. Yeah, I think that'll be really sick. Again, I think it's all about like standing out because your store is your main base and foundation. I've been just seeing a lot of people having the same type of store, and it's not just really sustainable long term. So I think the more customizing and the more effort you put into your store, which is your main base and foundation, I think the better it'll be. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Do you have copywriters and media buyers? For my own stores, no, I do not have media buyers. I could, but I choose not to. And I do not have copywriters for my own stores or for my partner stores. For my agency, yes, I do have two media buyers and one copywriter that also does all the social media management and stuff like that. So yes, for the agency, it just kind of makes sense for me to do that. Just because I don't want to spend a lot of my time doing like the small things. I'd rather just focus on the front end, like they say, working more on your business than in the business. So yes, for the agency, we do. How are you today? I'm doing well. How are you, man? Thanks for popping out today. I do appreciate it. Siraj, if I'm saying your name correctly, thank you for the great value. I'm so glad I found your channel. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for the support. I hope the videos are giving you or bringing you some sort of value and insight. So yeah, keep watching and make sure you're subscribed with that post notification bell on. Um, what prep or focus do you recommend for someone starting out for Q1? Yeah, so that's great because I do want to talk about Q1 and obviously other things as well. We don't only have to talk about Q1, but as we're approaching that time frame, so a lot of people have the misconception that like Q1 is not profitable. I don't think that's really true, especially like a lot of retail brick and mortars and just stores being closed, like a lot of retailers in general. I think a lot of the consumer market has adapted to just shopping online now. I think there's huge potential for evergreen products. For evergreen products, I would really focus on like home improvement, which includes like kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedroom products. Um, Health and wellness products like personal and self-care products, hair products, skin products, massage products, therapeutic products, those do really well, just health and wellness in general. Pet products always usually do well. I don't really sell a lot of pet products. Just kind of found them super weird in how they perform sometimes. It's like a big hit or miss, which I know is like with most dropshipping products, but just personally, just not my area to really focus on. What else? I think outdoors is also great. Outdoors products includes fishing, hiking, biking, cycling, all of those products. And what I would start doing right now is if you want to capitalize quickly on Valentine's Day, I would start looking into Valentine's Day products from now. You know, maybe have a niche Valentine's Day store. Um, you just have to act very quick because comes mid-January, a month from now, it'll be like the competition will be very high for Valentine's Day products. So start running ads, start testing aggressively from like the first week of January. And I mean like from the second, third, or fourth of January, the latest. Um, and I think influencers do very well for Valentine's Day too. Like even theme and meme pages, all right? As long as the product is broad in general. So that's what I would kind of start going into for Q1. Again, you don't have to do a Valentine's Day store. You can even just stick with like evergreen store and test evergreen products, but it's something that you can capitalize on, you know, short term. Just you just have to really make sure that you get the product to the customer at the right time. Yes, absolutely. Q1 is very profitable. Can you do a video for lookalikes, or what do we need for lookalikes? Yeah, I do have to do a video for like Facebook advanced scaling strategies. That's probably going to come out the end of this month or the beginning of next month, Q1. So I will definitely be doing that. But again, if you have any specific lookalike or retargeting questions, Chris, just feel free to drop them below and I'll be answering them for you. Yeah, jewelry does very, very, very well for Valentine's Day. Again, like you got to think outside the box. Like think about jewelry and stuff that's more unique, right? Like if you've been in the space for some while now, you probably remember that necklace that females can wear, and in that necklace it said 100 ways to say I love you. Like stuff like that does very well because it's not like your typical jewelry people can just see like on social media every day or just go out to a store and buy. So stuff like that has a wow factor, that has more of an impulse buy, it does really well. So, you know, make sure like you're looking for products as such. 24.99 plus free shipping or 24.99 plus 4.99 shipping. So yeah, I have two shipping options. I do free shipping and I also have like a paid shipping option at 5.95 or 6.95. So I'll do like free secured shipping or free standard shipping because people love free shipping, especially because it's the holidays, especially because like Amazon Prime and stuff rolling out. And then I'll do priority insured shipping with like an extended warranty, like a 7-day or 14-day warranty. And I'll basically upsell that. And that will increase my AOV, right? Average order value. So I'll have two types of shipping. And I would price your product at $29.97 or $29.95 instead of $29.99. I've learned that using that 7 or 5 does better in sales, I will always price my products with 97 or 95 and then do free shipping. Yeah, jewelry does have very high perceived value, and if you can market it the right way and have the right offer, like it's killer. And as long as it has some sort of impulsive uh, factors to it, like that 100 ways to say I love you necklace, for example. So, what's up, Jonathan? How are you, my man? You're watching from work. Hey, that's awesome, bro. Much respect to you, bro. Um, Q1 for fitness products. I personally am not going to be selling fitness products. I just think there's a lot of competition. But yes, it can work. A lot of people are also selling fitness products now, so they can use them as soon as the new year hits. Because a lot of people are in this New Year's resolution sort of mindset. They want to get into fitness and change their lifestyle, yada yada yada. So yeah, I mean it can work. Yeah, I just am personally not going to be focusing on fitness products. I just want to say I'm glad you're taking time out of your day to help us. Yeah, man, absolutely, bro. Thank you so much for hopping in. I mean, all of you guys that are on here, I mean, I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys drop a like. I know I keep saying that, but it does help the YouTube algorithm. So if you did not smash the like button, make sure you guys already smash that like button, please. But yeah, guys, keep dropping your questions. I got my bro in this live. We both gonna eat. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, let's continue with the questions. I mean, how is everyone doing? Um how was Q4 for everyone? I mean, did you guys hit your goals? Did you not hit your goals? Both are fine. But yeah, I'm curious to how Q4 is coming and treating you guys, and kind of what did you learn? Like, did you learn anything? Is there anything you can implement for next year? I'm also curious. So let me know. Personally, Q4 didn't go as well as I thought it'd be, but it's all good, right? It's the survival of the fittest, and we adapt and we move forward and we learn and grow. Any Facebook ads advice? Yes, but that is also a very broad question. So let me know if you have any specific Facebook ads questions. Should I add the tax fee at all? No, I do not charge tax. I eat up the sales tax on my stores. I only charge tax in my home state. So if someone purchases from New Jersey, or New York, that's kind of complicated, but I'll just say from New Jersey. Yes, I do charge sales tax, but other than that, I don't. I miss Q4. All good, bro. There's always next Q4, and there's always Q1 and Q2 and Q3 of next year. So it's all good. Mm-hmm. I used to have free shipping, but seeing all the successful general stores have paid shipping, maybe me try something else. Oh, made me try something else. I mean, yeah, you can have like a low shipping option, like a low paid shipping option. I just personally like to offer free shipping because I see my conversion rate always be a little bit, at least a tiny bit better. So, like I said, like I'll have a free option, but then I'll also have a paid option to give people two options. So it's totally up to you. Both can work if you structure everything else the proper way. Is there one thing you learned from this Q4 that you would change and implement next year? So obviously this was my first Q4. It was my I think it was my third Q4. Yeah, this was my third Q4. So I would say, like, especially when you're scaling, set up set up systems from the beginning in terms of payments, in terms of processors, in terms of making sure like your suppliers can fulfill in terms of timing, shipping out, and just shipping lines, right? That's kind of what I recommend. Um, but just general advice, like I see a lot of people hopping on Q4 very late. Like you should start really prepping for Q4 from September, October, even like from September, I would say. to really maximize your potential. What I would change and implement, nothing really personally, because I just had a lot of setbacks with Facebook in the month of October, which was just very unfortunate. I mean, I would say that's kind of out of my hands, right? So, a lot of people don't talk about the mental toughness needed in this game when shit goes south, and stuff will go south, by the way. So, just kind of expect the unexpected. That's what I would say too, and always just push forward and try and see how you can go around that roadblock or that hindrance. I had very high CPMs, like 50 or 60 in this Q4. Is that normal? Yes, it is normal. And a lot of people have been asking me and telling me about like CPM issues. And you also got to realize, like, yes, it's Q4, but these are the last 2 or 3 weeks. A lot of bigger companies and a lot of larger e-commerce stores are spending a majority of their Q4 advertising budget, because it's like 2 weeks before Christmas. So they're really exhausting their budget as much as possible these last 1 or 2 weeks, guys. So yes, like, your metrics might be shitty if you're just testing, if you're not running anything at scale, CPCs and CPMs, just because the bidding war is so high on Facebook right now, right? Facebook is a bidding platform, and that's how almost any sort of paid advertising platform works. It's a bidding war. And again, a lot of companies are just going full out these last 1 or 2 weeks before Christmas. So I think stuff will go at least a little bit back to normal from Q1 and onward. So again, it's not only you if you're dealing with high CPMs. That's why I personally have taken a little bit of a step back from Facebook in terms of scaling. And I've been doing like a lot of organic stuff like email marketing, SMS marketing, SEO, and a lot of just organic posting and a lot of influencer marketing, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Do you think ad costs will increase as more businesses move online and make it more difficult for beginners, or will it be offset as more people also buy online? I think I think the latter. That's a very good question. Like I was saying, because of this pandemic and just because how the world is right now, a lot of people are adapting to just shopping online now. Like, again, a lot of people next year will also continue to shop online. And I think there'll be a balance. There's more and more people getting access to the internet. There's more and more people adapting that habit of shopping online now. And there's more and more people, flooding to the social media platform. So I think it will always, always, always balance out in terms of that supply and demand curve. But yeah, that's a very good question. What CPC should I look for? So, I mean, Q4, I would say at least under $1.50. But you want your CPC ideally to be under $1. And a winning product always shows good metrics from the get-go. Like from day one, your CPMs will not be over 20, $30. Your CPC will be below $1. Your CTR, or your click-through rate, will be between 1 and 3%. So that's what you should be looking for. Do you use any other drop shippers? Do you and other dropshippers actually use AliExpress? I'm not sure if any other dropshippers use them. I mean, probably, but I would not suggest AliExpress. I don't use AliExpress. ePacket is primarily dead. I'll use Alibaba sometimes in terms of getting orders in bulk, but I also have private agents and fulfillment centers that I already have a great relationship with. So yeah, I mean, I've kind of stepped away from AliExpress and Alibaba from like Q1 of this year personally. So I just don't think utilizing AliExpress to fulfill is really sustainable anymore. And it's not trustworthy. A lot of suppliers lie on there regardless of the reviews and ratings they have from customers. I'm currently getting $5 CPM targeting the big five. Not sure what's going on. I mean, that can be a really good thing or a bad thing. Maybe more good than bad. I sometimes say like a higher CPM means a better quality of traffic too, because you're getting like quality clicks and quality viewers instead of just a bunch of people flooding to your ad, if that makes sense. So I mean, the main metric you should be looking at is ROAS, right? Return on ad spend. What is your return on ad spend? What is your cost per add to cart, cost per initiate checkout, and your cost per purchase? Cost per add to cart and cost per purchase being the main two out of those. So do you use page builders on your micro branded stores? I have before, not currently. I've used Gem Pages, or sorry, was it Gem? No, it was actually Shogun. So I have used Shogun twice. Currently, not really. Again, my conversion rate's between like 4 and 7% on Shopify typically. So if I'm actually running like a white label brand, then yes, I'll probably use a page builder or something, or I'll at least transition into that. I don't recommend using it from the get go just because we want to establish some sort of proof of concept, like I was mentioning before. Might be a slightly odd question, but do people put music in Facebook ads? I can't due to religious reasons. So do you think catchy voiceovers would work? I think it'd be unique. So I always put music in the background. And it doesn't matter if people watch your ad with the music off or on, or like with their volume low or high. I put music that is relevant to the product or the vibe of the product, right? Like you can't have beauty or makeup product and put like rock music in the background. So it has to be somewhat similar, or um, somewhat in like the same environment or category of that product, if that makes sense. You can do voiceovers. I've done voiceovers for some custom content creatives before. Um, but at the same time, like if you have voiceovers, make sure like you don't have a ton of captions as well, because then people are trying to listen to the voice and also read the captions, and like there's just gonna be too much going on, and people might end up getting frustrated. So maybe like cut out the captions completely, or have like very, very, very limited captions, like maybe on 15 or 20% of the entire video have captions. But you can do voiceovers depending on the product. Yes. Just don't have like too much of it. Anything of too much is bad. What do you use for your customer service? So initially, I'll take care of it on my own, or my business partner will take care of it if we are partnering up on a store. But eventually, I will just hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork. Majority of the time on Upwork, it's just better quality of people. But yeah, I will hire them for like a few bucks an hour, like $3 to $7 an hour from the Philippines. I'll interview them, I'll train them, and I'll get them onboarded. And weekly, I'll just kind of have them send me a report, and I'll also follow up with them weekly to ensure that they're performing and executing all the tasks properly. So once you start getting like over 100 orders a day, then yeah, maybe you should definitely outsource your customer service. It just makes sense to. We will need a LLC in the future to run Facebook ads because I had bad customer service from drop shippers. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend having an LLC, sole proprietorship, and putting all your drop shipping stores underneath that, especially for tax purposes. But I would definitely consult with your accountant and your CPA based on your actual situation. Will you be doing another group stores review? The previous one was a very helpful. Oh, awesome, cool. Yeah, I may be doing a store review potentially in another YouTube video, perhaps in Q1. Um, yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a very good idea. I'll be, potentially auditing a few stores and giving my input on it. So yeah, that's definitely something in the works, or it will be in the works. Let me actually write that down. Now you mentioned it. Can you name the paid theme you use or recommend any particular theme? Yeah, so some paid themes I recommend, I'll even write them in the chat, is Booster. Booster is great for niche stores and for one product stores. Motion is good for one product and for niche stores. Ilomis is good for one product. Pipeline is good for one product. District is good for multi product stores or for niche stores. We can also adapt it to a one product store and also prestige. I would say turbo, but I've seen turbo a lot, and I think it's pretty overplayed. So yeah, booster, motion, Ilomis, pipeline, district, and prestige. Those are my personal favorite themes, just me personally. There's no right or wrong theme. Which shipping method can you advise for USA delivery? I recommend Unexpress or USPS if your supplier offers that. Try and look into Unexpress. That's YUN Express, Unexpress. when you find a new product, how do you test it? What is your ad strategy? So I actually have an exact video on this, but what I will do is I will do 7 to 10 ad sets inside a CBO campaign. I will set a minimum spend at $3 or $5 per ad set, depending on the cost price of the product. And I'll do it at $100 a day, right? I'll do automatic placements, especially now because of the competition. For languages, I'll do English all. For age, I'll usually leave it at default unless it's a product that can be appealed to more of a younger or even older audience. And I will uncheck that detailed targeting expansion button. And I will also exclude the interest that I'm utilizing in that ad set by AliExpress and dropshipping. You don't want your ad to be showing to people who are interested in AliExpress and dropshipping. For countries, I'll do people living in, and I'll do the big 5: US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. And I'll also do some other top tier European countries such as France, Germany, Ireland, Italy usually. So I'll do like those 9-ish countries. And then per ad set, I will have 2 ads or 2 creative that I'm going to be split testing. One's going to be like, for example, video 1, thumbnail 1, and one will be like video 2, thumbnail 1. So I'll only split test 1 variant per ad set or per creative, or yeah, per ad set group, and that'll be like usually the video. So that's how I really structure it. There's this new strategy I recommend you guys testing out too. I'm going to be making a quick video about this as well in the coming few weeks. Basically, I'll have an ABO campaign, which stands for Ad Set Budget Campaign, right? It's not CBO, ABO. We'll have 3 ad sets in that ABO or in that campaign, and each ad set will be at $7 or at $10 a day. US only, open, no targeting, meaning there's no interest, completely open. And this can work for most products as long as it's somewhat of a broad product, a mass approachable or mass targetable product. And yeah, only US, automatic placements, open, no targeting, excluded by AliExpress and dropshipping. And I'll have 3 of those ad sets, and each ad set will also have 2 ads or 2 creatives, just like that CBO campaign I broke down for you guys before. So that's another great testing strategy to test. So you'll essentially be testing or spending either $21 or $30 for that entire campaign per day, because you'll have 3 ad sets at $7 or $10 a day. So yeah, that's another great way to test. Thanks for the good value always. Absolutely. Thank you for hopping on, Nayan. I currently have a 25K monthly PayPal withdrawal limit. What kind of documents do I have to provide for them or to unlock my account? I would contact PayPal. They'll probably ask for like fulfillment invoices, order fulfillment invoices. And that means like from yourself, from Shopify, and also from the fulfilling side of things, whoever you're using as a supplier. And they may also ask for you to verify like your identity, upload some like ID documents or something. It really depends on every scenario or like every case. But if you go to the resolution center on PayPal, they should basically tell you or advise you on what to submit to in order for them to move on and actually maybe on hold some of your money or whatever situation you're dealing with. So if not, I would just call PayPal or just submit a support ticket through PayPal, and you can actually chat with a customer support representative. Yeah, PayPal is a pain in the ass, guys. Like I currently have $45,000 on hold with PayPal. So is Unixpress Unix or USPS? Oh, is Unix. So I haven't used Unix. USPS Express shipping affordable? Yes and no. It depends on your supplier, guys. Like I know I keep saying that, but it truly does depend on your supplier. I know if you're doing like orders at scale, it might not be like an issue, meaning it may be affordable to you and it just makes sense. So my supplier primarily uses a Unixpress and also USPS when I'm scaling. To the US, they will use obviously USPS 95% of the time. And to any other countries, the big 5 or European countries, they will utilize Unixpress. So try and see if your supplier offers that. A lot of people recommend not using PayPal. Yes, I've had some people take PayPal off their stores and only offer Shopify payments or Stripe, and their conversion rate really hasn't dropped. But then I've also seen other people take it out and their conversion rate has dropped significantly. Like I mean by 1 or 2%. So a lot of people will use PayPal just for that trust factor, especially now because a lot of people have been scammed by purchasing products off of Facebook. So people are getting that awareness. I've seen someone literally comment on a store or like, oh, they don't accept PayPal. I'm not gonna buy. So like I've seen a few comments like that on like other competitor stores before. So in the beginning, like if you aren't really dealing anything with PayPal, like any issues, then I would definitely incorporate both PayPal and a credit card processor, Stripe, Shopify payments, or a third party external processor. Make sure you have a PayPal business account. Make sure you have some transaction history, or try to get even some small transaction history on that PayPal account. Warm it up and let PayPal customer support know if you're going to be having an influx of orders or an influx of revenue in a shorter amount of time, so they don't flag your account right away. But I personally offer both. Even though I have a ton of money on hold, I still offer both. I just think a lot of people like that conveniency and that safety factor or that cushion in terms of having PayPal there. What's the most revenue you have made a day, if I may ask? Um, in sales, I would say about 25 or 27,000 in sales for a single day, and my profit margins were about 17 or 18% that day, so not too shabby. Is it better to form a business and or have tax information as a beginner to avoid money holds? Yeah, you can. I mean, for that and also for just accounting purposes. I'm not sure where you're located, but I made the mistake in forming an LLC like super late into just business in general. So I would have an LLC from the get-go. Like you can literally register it for 100 or 200 bucks from a site called legalzoom.com and just do everything online. I mean, super simple and super easy. And if you're going to be in this game long term, like you can just throw all your stores underneath that single LLC, open up a separate business checking account, and boom, go for there. Because one thing I also learned is having your financials and your bookkeeping super organized, guys, especially when the money starts to come in. You want to have stuff really organized. It may sound like it's not that important, but trust me, it's so important because things can turn into a mess very quickly and you don't want to keep putting it off. But the best thing to do would be to consult your CPA or your accountant for the best information depending on your situation. Do you think dropshipping profit margins are worth it since they're better if you form an LLC? Is the downside that you have less access to those profits, or is that problem solved through dividends? Um, so again, that's a good question. It really depends on your state, your country, where you're living. Um, in general, yeah, like drop shipping doesn't have the highest profit margins. I mean, you can see margins anywhere from like 7% to 35, 40%. The average profit margins are between like 10 and 20, 25%, I would say. I like to aim for 15 to 25% profit margins. I have an organic store doing like 55, 60% profit margins right now, but obviously it's because I don't have any ad spend. Um, I think so. I personally had an LLC, but I transitioned this year into an S corp or S corporation just because it made more sense to me. So again, it depends on your situation. I don't want to give you like too much legal advice just because I don't want to be accountable for those things. That's what I did. Just main thing is like just keep things organized from the beginning and consult someone who really knows your situation because there's a lot of factors that go into opening up an LLC or this or that. So always consult your accountant. My new campaign doesn't spend no matter what I do. It shows active and learning, broad audience, no spending limit, no bid cap, duplicated tweet, and republish off and on. Any idea? Um, oh wow, that's super weird. Try and see if you can refresh or reset your ads manager. Um, if it's not spending at all, try and delete the campaign and just make another one. And make sure you schedule it at like 12 a.m. If the duplicated doesn't work, just delete the original one, just make a new one from scratch. If it still doesn't work, like make sure you have no spending limit, make sure you have no like payment cap on it. And I would open up a support ticket with Facebook if you don't have the live chat option. I know a lot of you guys don't have the live chat option, which is sucky. Facebook has terrible customer support in general. Um, but that's what I would do. I would contact a Facebook ad specialist or a ad representative and see what they can do to help you. But I would try to make that campaign from the beginning again. How much do you charge for your tutorial? So do you mean for my coaching program? Um, yeah, so if you're actually interested in the one-on-one coaching program, bro, just message me on Facebook or message me on Instagram. My Instagram is Yash with two H's 14. And we can talk and see if the program is a good fit for you. When initially testing, would you recommend doing US only or worldwide? So I think I mentioned this before. I have two strategies. I'll do one campaign CBO, 7 to 10 ad sets. I'll do big five, US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. Then I'll do some top tier European countries, France, Germany, Ireland, and Italy. Then I'll do another ABO campaign with 3 ad sets, open no targeting. And I'll do only US only in that. And make sure you do people living in, not people living in or recently at the location, just people living in and then the country. So that's what I will do if that answers your question. I had a customer that tried to purchase an item from my store. His credit card got declined and he tried about 5x in a row. As a result, Stripe banned my oh man, that sucks. Do you think there's a way to get it back? I wrote to them several times, but they refused. If they're not answering you on chat or email, I would definitely try and call them. I mean, call them or email them. Like, say it's not your fault. Say that you run an e-commerce business and it's kind of out of your hands in terms of how many times a customer is trying to enter their payment info. That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I would try and get them on the phone, dude. I mean, for stuff like that, you have to try and get to someone who actually works at Stripe. But yeah, that is terrible. I mean, I'm shocked they banned your account for someone trying 5 times. Maybe you don't have a lot of transaction history on it. How much you making? 7 figures, bro. We're talking about revenue. Thanks for all the valuable information. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll still be on here for about 15-20 minutes, guys. The live stream has been going great, so I appreciate you, all of you guys, tuning in today. So yeah, feel free to drop any other questions you have. Got it. Yeah, for sure, bro. What free themes do you recommend for general niche on Shopify? So I don't use free themes. Like I said, I only use paid themes. Um, like I mentioned, just because you can stand out a little bit more and they're more customizable. Free themes, man, like maybe Debutify or maybe Debut. But I would say try and use a paid theme. Trust me, you will get your ROI back. If not a month from now, 6 or 8 months from now, you will get your ROI back on a paid theme. There's just so much more you can do on a paid theme, guys. And again, like you may hear different from other people, but that's just my opinion and that's just my strategy and my take. Yeah, I haven't. I still use PayPal. I do have a lot of money on hold, but I still use PayPal just because like I've seen a lot of people's conversion rates drop, and I've seen again people comment on Facebook ads saying like, "Oh, this store doesn't have PayPal," and yeah, I'm not gonna be buying. So yeah, I personally make sure I have PayPal active, even though I have money on hold. I have multiple PayPal accounts, so if something happens to one, I can always sub in another one, and they're all related to the same entity. Best niches you think to get into in 2021 as an intermediate dropshipper? Like I mentioned before, home improvement is great. That includes bathroom, kitchen, living room, bedroom products, outdoors, fishing, camping, hiking, biking, all those products, health, wellness, personal and self-care products, massage, therapeutic products, self-care products. Those are great. Those are evergreen, ever-growing market. People will be spending money in those markets always. And you can also, since you're an intermediate, maybe do a short-term Valentine's Day store, which you can start looking into right now. Actually, start looking into Valentine's Day products right now and get before all of your competitors. So Valentine's Day is great too, especially this year, because people may not be going to stores to buy stuff, or at least not as much for the majority of people. So people will be buying a lot online this year or next year for Valentine's Day. Will this replay be available for the live is done? Yes, this will be on the channel after this live stream is done, so you can always rewatch it. And I don't think the live chat will be obviously active, so you can always comment below this video if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns you guys forgot to ask during the live. So yes, it will be available for replay or for rewatch. This was actually my third ever customer. Oh yes, well maybe that's why, bro. Like maybe their system just detected like a flag, and they basically banned your account. Like they basically flagged your account, because you didn't have a lot of transaction history. So yeah, bro, I would definitely try and get in contact with a Shopify or a Stripe support specialist. Do you recommend one ad account for multiple products on one pixel? Yeah, I think like when you're testing, I think that's okay because you're not spending a lot of money for a product, or you shouldn't be spending a lot of money for a product when you're first testing. So I think one ad account and one pixel and one Facebook page and one Instagram page is fine. Once you find a winner, I always recommend backing up that pixel through an app called Trackify. There's tons of apps out there. I've had some good experience with Trackify. So you can basically back it up, create a master pixel, and then you can segment ad accounts and stuff like that based off of what you're dealing with. How many days interval do you think it's good to deliver items to customers? You want to try and have ideal, bro, is as fast as possible. I mean, people always want their items as fast as possible. But ideally, I would say 1 to 3 week shipping time. Like try 1 to 2 weeks or 8 to 15 days. But 3 weeks, like the max. People aren't going to wait more than 3 weeks. So sometimes people do, especially if it's a product that people may not want right away for Christmas, Valentine's Day. As long as you have good customer service, good customer support. I mean, you have to have good customer support and good customer service if you're taking 3 weeks or more, right? Because you are going to get complaints and potential chargebacks and disputes. So yeah, I would say try and aim for 1 to 2 weeks, bro. Especially, I know sometimes when you're doing lower at scale, it's hard because you may not be working with a 3PL or a fulfillment center or a private agent, or you're not buying in bulk. I know it's tough, but check out your resources, weigh your options out, and try and get that 1 to 2 week or maybe 3 weeks if you can. Check this out, guys. Remember I was talking to you about oh, my phone just died. I'm going to show you guys one of the organic stores I was running. Do you follow Sebastian? His margins are crazy. Yeah, it's because Sebastian does a lot of white labeling. He does a lot of US fulfilling, US inventory. So I don't follow him religiously. I've spoken to him once. I see some of his videos. I honestly don't watch I've gotten to the point, and again, I'm not really putting myself on a pedestal, but I've gotten to the point where I don't really religiously or commit to watching anyone on YouTube like that anymore. It just doesn't make sense to me. So again, I'll watch some of these guys here and there. A lot of them are my friends. But yeah, he has good margins because he's white labeling. He's doing in-house fulfilling, or he's a fulfillment center. I mean, my white label brand, my profit margins were above 35, 40% consistently. So what shipping method provides 1 to 3 week shipping? I would say USPS, Unexpress, um, what else? China Post and SL Fulfillment. I would definitely consult with your supplier. A good starting budget is, I would say, at least $1,500. At least $1,500 is a good starting budget. Is Facebook ads just as simple as create a CBO with 3 interests? So I would have like at least 7 to 10 interests in my CBO with $75 or $100 per day in spending. And then you can set a minimum spend per ad set at like $3 or $5. If the product is like more than $30, I will send a minimum spend per ad set of $3 or $5 because your cost per purchase probably won't be as low. Other than that, if it's lower than $30, I won't put any minimum ad spend per day. But yeah, 7 to 10 ad sets is good because the whole purpose is you want to test different audiences. You want to see where Facebook really sticks to 1 or 2 or 3 different audiences, which are 2 or 3 different ad sets, right? So you want to have 7 to 10 ad sets at least in a CBO. Do you recommend to mention the shipping time on each product page? You don't have to. Like, if you're not really proud of, like, or if you don't really have the best shipping option, then, or the shipping times, then no. I personally really don't. I mean, sometimes I do if I have like 4 to 7 day shipping for any of like the stores I'm doing at scale, because by that point I have a 3PL or fulfillment center. But as long as you have it in in like your shipping and delivery policy, that's okay. You should have it somewhere on your store. So you don't have to. But just have good like customer support in general. That's what I do recommend. Is there such a thing as a winning product, or is it more better marketing? I personally think both combined is successful. You answered your question, brother. You have to find stuff that people are already spending a lot of money behind. I mean, the main purpose of dropshipping is introducing products that people like. The mass majority of the market doesn't have knowledge about already. That doesn't know that product exists, right? You're like introducing a new product to them. That's the main thing with dropshipping. That's why people say like winning product, wow factor product, impulsive product, because it's true. Like, you're getting in front of these people with these products that are unique than just like selling this water bottle, unless you're like Hydro Flask or like a bigger company. So yeah, with traditional dropshipping, like, marketing is very important. Like, good copywriting, good ad creatives, good targeting, knowing your ideal buyer persona is very important. Knowing who will actually buy, who is your exact customer, how can you resonate with your potential customer through your ad, through your product page. That is all very important. That's good marketing. But yes, I've always came to know that product is also king. So it's a little bit of both. Again, you answered your own question, bro. That was spot on. I came into dropshipping back July with $6,000 capital, lost a lot into Facebook ads, and 4 months later, I did 14K in sales, but just in numbers, no profit. Okay. Well, hey, don't be, you know, bogged down by that. I mean, stuff happens. I lost like 15, 16,000 my first year. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm not saying that at all, but as long as you're learning, okay, you also don't want to keep going down this path. Like, you want to take a step back or take a few steps back, see where your weaknesses are, where your pain points are. What are you doing wrong? What can you spend more time on? Where are your exact weaknesses? Is it finding better products? Is it constructing better product pages with better images, better offers, better pricing, better description, better color schemes? See where your weaknesses are, and don't spend money for a while on advertising. Build the skills, focus on the base and foundation. Come up with a good strategy you can execute, right? Obviously, there'll be some testing factors here and there, and then hop right back on. So again, bro, if you need any of my help, if you want to hop on a coaching call or anything like that, I'm not here to hard sell you, but if you really think you can benefit from learning from someone else that's been in your shoes before, you can very, 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 very much gladly, um, schedule a coaching call. Any advice for me in 2021? And I definitely get big in 2021. But well, yeah, bro. You can own 2021. You can make 2021 your bitch, right? But you gotta again do what I suggested. You gotta see where your weaknesses are and really take a step back. Again, I don't know what's stopping you from profiting. It could be one thing or a bunch of things. It can even be mindset or how productive you are, how you're working. It could be a bunch of things, but really be accountable to where you think you're messing up, where your biggest pain points are, what's stopping you from moving forward and actually being profitable. Do you kill $100 CBO if it doesn't get a single sale on the first day? No, I let everything run for 2 days and let it optimize for 2 days because it will be in the learning phase for 2 days. How do you like the new Shopify live view? I hate it. I posted on my Instagram story. I do not like it at all. I mean, I don't go on the live like too much. When I was first starting out, I used to go on the live like all the freaking time. Like I used to see like where my visitors are, how many people are adding to cart, how many people are initiating checkout, how many people are purchasing. But yeah, I don't really like it. I personally miss the OG version of it. Can I have this live section on your channel? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like, can you rewatch it? Because yeah, you can rewatch it. You can't see Russia, it's too white. That's funny. But yeah, guys, as we're coming to an end here, I mean, drop your last questions, thoughts, concerns. I'll still be here for a little bit. And by the way, if you guys want to hop on a one-on-one coaching call, again, if it makes sense for you, I'm not hardcore selling you or anything here. If it makes sense for you, if you want some direction in your business, I just got to make sure I'm typing the right link here. But yeah, if you want some overall direction in your business, it can be anything, website, social media, product research, Facebook ads, influencers, scaling, or even just mindset advice. Like I'm here for that. So if it makes sense, look at it as an investment into not only your business, but yourself. You can hop on a coaching call, and I am dropping the link right now in the chat. So feel free to schedule a call. I only take about 15 to 20 per month. And again, I only provide value and insight on these coaching calls, right? These are through Zoom, so we can both screen share, hear and see each other, and you'll also be able to record the call for your reference. So again, that's the link to the coaching call. Schedule a time and date that works best for you, and I look forward to speaking to you guys if you do schedule one. Now that that is out the way, I had to plug that in. Don't blame me. Ka-ching addicted. Ka-ching addicted. Funny story, like when I was first scaling my first store, like I turned the Shopify notifications off after noon because like when you get that ka-ching, it releases a lot of dopamine in your brain. And I was getting a sense of like complacency, for example. I don't know. It's kind of weird how it worked. So I just turned it off. And because at that point, I think I was doing like 5 or 6K in sales. So it was going off like every 10, 20 minutes at least. So yeah, that's just kind of what I did. Like I just turned off the Shopify notifications. Have you ever used CJ, and do you suggest something like CJ? Yeah, I mean, CJ dropshipping is good. Udroppy is good. Aprolo is good. Sourcing Box is good. Every supplier or fulfillment website have their pros and cons. So always, always, always like weigh your options out. But yes, CJ is good. I mean, a lot of people shit on it, but sometimes like you may not find the best pricing, or it just doesn't make sense sometimes, and that's totally okay, guys. But yeah, overall, I have used CJ before. Are there any other social media platforms apart from Facebook and Insta that you advertise on? Um, no, TikTok here and there. I have to learn and get back into TikTok ads. Probably next year. I don't do like any YouTube or Pinterest or Etsy or like Google. Facebook is my bread and butter. Facebook is the most scalable because The advertising platform is so developed. Their AI is so freaking smart. And they have 3.2 billion users, Instagram and Facebook combined. So that's why the scalability is so freaking crazy on there. Um, but yeah, I also use Instagram influencers. How do you keep track of your profit loss, especially with shipping rates changing depending on the country or quantity? So you can utilize an app called True Profit Tracking. It'll do everything for you. You can connect your ad account or multiple ad accounts, connect your Shopify store. It syncs right in because it's an app. Input like your cost of goods sold, and it will track it for you. You can also do it old school. Just do it on an Excel sheet or Google sheet, and do it based on a profit or lost kind of basis. I have like an extensive IT background and like a background in like economics and stuff. So I'm pretty good with Excel. I'll just put like a bunch of formulas in that will do it for me. So I'll keep track that way, and also keep track through True Profit, which is the app I was talking to you about. So maybe you can utilize that and make your life a little bit easier. How much do you recommend for shipping to the big 5 countries? I always eat up my shipping cost. I have free shipping and also a paid shipping option. Very rarely will I implement a paid shipping option from the get-go, like a 290 shipping option. That's like if my margins are a little bit less and I can't really get a better deal or better pricing on a product. Sometimes I'll charge like 295 or 395 shipping just to bump that AOV up a little bit more. I will do that sometimes if I, again, can't find the pricing I really need to, or the margins I really need to attain on a product. But usually I will do just free shipping, bro. You always want to eat up that shipping price. And then obviously implement a paid shipping option too, which you'll be surprised. Like usually at least 3 out of 10 people opt in for that upsell of the shipping option, which is like a 695 or 795 shipping option. I use True Profit, but it sucks with quantity breaks. Yeah, I get what you're saying, because you can't put in the exact cost of how much it's costing you for like 2 orders or 3 orders or 4 orders or 5 orders, because there's like a discount perhaps with your supplier from each different um, basically bulk of orders. So yeah, I get what you mean by that. I would just use Excel, bro, or just track it manually. Because True Profit doesn't have a way to segment that. Your advice on Q1 and trying to build a good brand that you can push for a while instead of products that die after 5 to 6 weeks. Well, if you have the skills and the capital, like you can definitely build a private label brand. I mean, it's not easy. Like there's a lot of upfront work that goes into like packaging, labeling, content, creatives, and all that stuff. So private label is like the main long-term way to go into e-commerce, but you can also do white labeling. Like white labeling brands can sustain a long time, like a year or two or even more, and you can even have an exit strategy. So if you find something that's working, you're making $2,000-3,000 a day, $4,000-5,000 a day consistently, white label it. Order it in bulk, get some custom packaging, get some custom creatives, boom. So that's another way to build. That's still a brand. You're still branding. Private labeling is more of your own product. Like you're manufacturing it, you're designing the concept and everything. That's private labeling. That's what I'm probably going to be getting into the end of next year. Are you building any big brand right now, or planning to do in 2021, or build dropshipping is where to go? Yeah, I think dropshipping is great for people who want to attain that capital. Just stack up some money, gain those skills, learn how to execute different strategies, build that network. And then I know people who just exit off of dropshipping and never do anything with e-commerce again. But it's been a lifestyle for me, right? It's became a lifestyle for me. So yeah, I do have 2 stores running right now. I had a private label that I sold a few weeks or like a few months ago. And right now I'm just brainstorming stuff for 2021 because I'm getting into private labeling. And hopefully I'll have like at least 1 or 2 white label stores. Sometimes I'll just do the traditional drop shipping with influencers or even with Facebook and just kind of step away from that store, sell it, or maybe later come back to it if I can or whatnot. And sometimes if a product is really popping off and it shows to have really good potential, and if it's evergreen, then I will transition into a white label brand as long as it has consistency and has good margins. So yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 white label stores next year, and then officially start working on my private label brand, which I don't want to disclose too much of just yet. Probably the end of next year, Q3 or Q4. So we'll see how stuff plays out. Does Facebook allow 2 business managers, and can I use the same information? Yeah, absolutely. I have like, well, my personal profile is banned on Facebook, if anyone didn't know, but I had like 4 business managers, I think, on mine. So yeah, you can use that. Have you heard about the Tan Brothers? Yes, I have heard about the Tan Brothers. I actually, for one of my stores, the person who fulfills for them, who fulfills orders for them in the US, he was fulfilling for one of my stores because he was getting about 600 to 750 orders a day at its peak. So that dude was fulfilling for me. But yeah, I mean, they're absolutely killing it. They're great. Do you think Facebook ads will do better in Q1 since not a lot of people are running around? Yeah. I think Facebook ads will definitely perform a little bit better. I think there'll be much less bans and stuff like that. Fingers crossed. There's like a whole situation going on with Facebook right now, if you guys already did not hear about it. But yeah, I think costs will definitely lower, and hopefully they're a little bit less stricter too. But again, that's just my personal input on that. How do you make your ads? If you're talking about actual creatives, I use a company called Ecom Creations. I'm affiliated with them. I'm an affiliate. So if you actually go down in the description below of this live, I will actually have a link to Ecom Creations, and you can use my code YASH10 for 10% off. So I use Ecom Creations. They're great. They're great at what they do, and they have a great turnaround time. Excuse me. I personally know the owner. His name is Scott, and they're absolutely great. So I use them for all of my video creative needs and thumbnail needs for Facebook, and they also do TikTok and Snapchat creatives too. FYI. Where's the issue with Facebook? Just Facebook policies getting more stricter. Them being more freaking anal about everything. Just page bans, ad account bans, business manager bans, personal account bans. It's the norm. You got to adapt and pivot, guys, and keep pushing forward. I think after September 29th, that's when Facebook changed a lot of its policies. It's been really crazy. It's better than the election timeframe, though. I will say that. Do you play games or League of Legends? I used to in high school. I used to play League and RuneScape in high school. I used to PC game a lot, but now I don't. I'm not going to say I don't have the time, but I'm just not really interested. It's not really my forte. So I don't really game too much. If I go to my boy's house or my family's house and they have a PS4 or PS5 now or like Xbox, I'll play that here and there, maybe some Nintendo. But yeah, I don't really game a lot anymore. How can I get help with my product testing? Literally, I'm burning money for nothing. Dude, schedule a one-on-one growth call, my man. I will literally help you set up your ads from the scratch or from the get-go. So schedule a one-on-one growth call with myself, bro, and I will literally help you. If you don't want to watch like my videos, or if those videos don't make sense, schedule a one-on-one growth call and we will go through everything together. Are you taking one-on-one coaching and mentoring since in 2021? And if I opt in, what do I get as your student? Yes, I do. I am planning to taking on one-on-one coaching students in 2021. I do only take on a few people every single quarter because I don't want to overpopulate. I want to give that client or that student the proper time he or she deserves. So yes, I am taking on students, and if you want to learn more about it, see what it has to offer, see if it makes a better fit for you, see if it actually makes sense for you, then message me on Instagram or on Facebook. My Instagram is Yash14. Drop it in the comments, and yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the one-on-one coaching program and see if it actually makes sense for you. But yeah, I do pretty much close it off before the first month of the quarter even finishes, because I usually get a lot of people asking me, but I don't just onboard everyone. Glenn, you asked, and I wasn't ignoring your question. How does ecom change your life? What were you feeling when you realized that ecom was possible? I mean, damn, like I still remember like my first sale, guys. I remember I was still in college. I did my undergraduate at Rutgers University, and I got my first sale, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I just sold something online. I just sold something on my Shopify store, and like, even then, like, I saw these people doing like big numbers, and I was like, "Damn!" Like, that's where I want to be. I wasn't really comparing myself, but I know what was possible. Like, like at the same time, I knew, because a lot of my boys in the space told me that, like, be careful. A lot of these guys scam and do inspect elements and just fake their numbers. But I knew like there were people making a shit ton of money. Like, guys, there's a lot of people out there that are doing like $100,000 days, $50,000 days. That aren't even on Instagram, let alone on YouTube. So like, guys, like there's a lot of low key under profile people, but I knew what was possible. And like I remember when I got to my first $1,000 day, I was like, shit, I just profited like $250 in a day. I was like, damn, this can actually work. And I never looked back. And I never, ever, ever looked back after this day, because I knew I had something going. And I frankly, like, I love the laptop lifestyle. I was talking a little bit about this. I just had the opportunity to speak at my university for this organization for entrepreneurs like a few weeks ago. I posted on my story about that. It's like this Road to Silicon Valley club or something. But I love the laptop lifestyle. I think what's more rewarding is like the time and the freedom. Yes, like entrepreneurs or myself, we work more than people who have like a regular, maybe 9 to 5 job, maybe not, but it's still the freedom. I think it's very rewarding in terms of having your own schedule, taking your laptop anywhere, and still making income, right? Being asleep and still making income. So I think ecom has changed my life in terms of just also just being more grateful, man. Like, it's like this is 0.01% shit. Like, making money online from your laptop and Wi-Fi. Just think about that, right? Making a full-time income, like, that's not normal. That's 0.1% shit. And you gotta put in, or you gotta work as hard as 99, like you gotta work harder than like 99.9% of the people, right? Because again, 0.1% shit. But I think the traveling, I think just like, like if I'll go out with my friends, sometimes I'll just pay for dinner. Or if we're going to a bar, like the bill's a few $100, like I'll just pay, Just doing like little acts like that, like buying stuff for my folks. Like I didn't come from a wealthy family, I don't come from like affluence, Obviously, I'm not saying that we were also dirt poor, because we weren't. I'd be lying if I said that. But, I came from a regular house. Like, we weren't like making hundreds and thousands of years. When I say we, like my family. Um, and yeah, bro, like I think it's just being really grateful, right? Because like when you get something too fast, like it builds ego. But when you get it slowly and gradually and you go through fucking shit, like it builds a lot of character. And you appreciate things a lot more, just how you think and how you react to things. And again, it just all comes down to being grateful and like never settling. What I mean by that is just once you get into that mindset, and once you get into that momentum, like you always want like to improve yourself and do better and achieve bigger things. Like you may think like, oh, once I make $10,000 a month in revenue, or $100,000 um, a month in revenue, like, that's it. Like I'll be good. Like I'm set. But like when I hit my first 6-figure month, like my first $100,000 month, like, yeah, this is great, but I know I can do better. Like, how can I scale even further now? So it's like you'll always be hungry for more. So I think it's like the freedom. I think it's just being your own boss. And I'm I'm glad that e-commerce and this whole business model just taught me to have a lot of discipline and to be really accountable. Like anything bad that happens, guys, like it's your fault. Just put it as like it's your fault. So I think that's more of a deeper conversation. Like I do want to make a video about like my whole success story. I'll be making a video about that soon. Trust me, guys. Like next year, like this channel is gonna literally be insane. Like that's really my plan for this channel. Because I really want to provide as much value and insight as possible, and just different type of content for you guys. So I hope that made sense. Um, Let me take these 2 questions, guys, and I'm probably gonna be out because I do gotta run some errands, do like normal human being things. How do you build a YouTube channel and how do you do a live stream? So you do a live stream by, let me answer that because that's easier. If you go to upload and if you just go on live stream, you'll be able to make a or schedule a live stream from there. How do you build a YouTube channel? Try different shit out. Like you don't have to have a YouTube channel around like business or finance or e-commerce. Like it can be anything, but I would say consistency, knowing how the YouTube algorithm works, like thumbnails, titles, watch time, key tags, keywords, all that stuff, and just consistency, right? Don't be shy. Like just put yourself out there and let your audience give you your feedback, what they want to see. Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's freedom, right? That's the main benefit out of this. But I appreciate you guys, all of you, hopping on today. Let me answer this last question. My CPMs nowadays are a lot. It's like 30 at minimum. So that's okay. Like those CPMs aren't anything crazy, I would say. And my CPC is 2. Yeah, you want your cost per click, bro, to be below 150 or a dollar. So maybe you can change your targeting up or change your creative up, right? I would actually have to take a proper look, but it's probably your targeting or your creative. Doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad product. It could be the targeting or the creative, like you mentioned. Best credit card to start with for a college student. So if you're in the US, I recommend Discover is good. Chase Sapphire is good. Any lower tier American Express card is really good. Now I have American Express Gold and Platinum. That's what I rack everything on, personal and business. But any lower tier American Express is good, and Chase Sapphire is good too. There's this other one called City Double Cash, Citibank, City Double Cash credit card. Look into that one too. It also depends if you're more leaning towards points or more leaning towards cash back. I personally lean more towards points, so I can use that when I travel and stay at hotels and travel, because I personally freaking love to travel. So yeah, like cashback is great, but I'd rather prefer a card that focuses or values points more. So check out a few of those cards. I think I also have a video on like beginner intro credit cards that I filmed a long time ago on the channel. But yeah, I mean that's basically your answer there. So yeah, get your credit card or get multiple credit cards. You should be opening up multiple accounts every single year and utilize and leverage credit to your full advantage, man. Especially like with advertising, put all your expenses on that 1 or 2 credit cards that you have, and it will only benefit you, and you can later leverage that. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Much love for each and every single one of you guys. Again, if you do want to hop on a one-on-one growth call, I did plug that link in. So yeah, feel free to schedule a call on a time and day that works best for you. I look forward to speaking with you. Continue watching the videos on the channel. And yeah, guys, set your goals, write stuff down, and manifest it. Because I really believe in the law of attraction, So, hold yourself accountable, write your weekly goals, daily goals, monthly goals, annual goals, and look at them every day and put them into action, right? Make sure you're working on those goals every single day. and make sure you're being productive, because there's a difference between working 16 hours a day versus being productive, right? So with that being said, guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys have a safe, healthy New Year's. And once again, it's okay if you didn't reach where you wanted to be this Q4. It's okay. Learn and grow and own 2021, okay? Because a year can really change your life. That's a lot of time, guys, trust me. So keep doing what you would love to do and keep working hard, keep being awesome. Make sure you have that tunnel vision, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something if they never did what you're trying to do, okay? So with that being said, I'll catch you guys. Thank you so much, and your boy's out. Peace.